What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Box Out Boys podcast. We are the NBA podcast of the people. Your home for lukewarm takes and substandard analysis. I'm Titus Two Shots Dominguez, and joining me tonight, it's Chris the Smoke Man Gorman. Hit him with the smoke, Chris.
Hey! I got a stat that I am very happy about, and it is that the Bulls last season were 1-13 against the top four in the East. So far this year, they're 2-0.
Nice. Good stat.
There's my stat.
2-0 against last year's top team.
Last year's top four teams. Right?
Got it.
Miami.
Hey, it is a start.
It is improvement.
He
It
sees
is
crimson.
optimism.
He bleeds
Diane.
maroon. It is the lawn boss, Joey McCroskey. Get that, Joe.
Hey, it's me.
Yes.
I'm the problem. It's me.
You're definitely the problem. We are, we are aware of Taylor Swift's new album, just so that our fans are aware. We are.
Let us
aware
know
of
if you
it.
want a pod
If you want a
recap
full
on it.
pod, because we can get into that. Oh, and making us sound as good as Taylor is on the new Midnight's album. It is our producer Adam, the professional Bruns. I love tonight, Adam.
They are what's a good adjective? Splendiferous,
Splendiferous.
Okay.
Ooh,
It's a
all
good
right.
made-up word.
right?
Good
Was there
made-up.
about
All words are made up, Joey.
This
Oh,
is true.
boy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, we got deep thoughts coming
Wait,
in. We
this
got
is-
Taylor Swift references. The podcast is already off the rails.
In that sense, everything is made up. Nothing
Everything
is
is
real.
made up. Nothing is real. Please, let's not. we're getting too deep. All right, well, we're glad to be back. Week 1 in the books. Is that what? Yeah, that's what we got going on, right, man? I feel like it's been a long time
Sure.
in the league. Yeah, I feel like for some reason I'm like it's only been 1 week, but so much has happened in the league so far. A lot of stuff. We're gonna get into it all tonight. We got our starting 5-pack of questions we're gonna get into to kind of get things rolling off. And talk about this week 1, crazy week 1 that I think we're all currently watching games too. So stuff is popping.
Not
off
me,
as
I'm
we go.
potting.
Oh, he's potting. Yeah, he's focused, locked in. He's getting his solid minutes. Look at him, Chris. He's ready to go.
Let's go. Got my highlights.
All right, so question. We got the highlights. We might have to some highlight packages. Some big things happening here at the Box Out Boys.
Production value increasing.
Production value increasing.
Times. Ooh.
Increasing. Okay.
Increasing. With maybe we get an appearance from Caliente Chris bringing the smoke. We don't know.
Just don't go in, Chris. What? Increasing. All right.
Increasing.
Question 1.
All right, question 1. Yeah, let's get to it. All right, question 1, guys. What was the biggest statement, win, or just statement of week 1? Let's go ahead and start with you, Chris. What do you think, man? What was the win that was on your mind? What was the performance? What was going on?
When I read this question, the first one that came to my mind was the one that happened that night while we were potting last week. It was Dallas versus Phoenix, first game of the season. They really scheduled this nicely. The NBA is we should talk about this as well. The NBA scheduling this year is fantastic. One tangent I want to make real quick is
Yes.
I really like the kind of baseball format where
All the series is
the back-to-backs kind of thing. Like the Timberwolves are doing that right now. They got, they were embarrassed by the Spurs. Now they're playing them right now. It's kind of nice you can have those, like, hey, we just played, let's play you again. And it's kind of an interesting wrinkle for the season.
Yeah.
Anyways, Dallas and Phoenix played each other, and Dallas went up 25 points at one point in the game.
Ooh,
I'm going to try this new thing where I share my screen to show. I had to pick one Luka highlight because if this works, maybe I'll pick 7 next week. But right now I have 1. So here's midway through beginning of the third quarter, second half. Dallas is up 20, and Luka just doing Luka things. Like, come on.
Yeah. Oh, the lean in.
He doesn't even get a foul call. It just goes in.
Yeah, that should have been fouled too.
And the announcer, I don't know if you guys heard it, but he said it's that type of night for Luka. From that point on, they're up 67-45. Phoenix rallies back with Damian freaking Lee. I got a couple things I actually want to show you with Damian Lee. This was like his third three-pointer. He's just feeling it at this point. They left him in. Chris Paul's on the bench at this point. Damian Lee's hitting a 3. Lucas still hits some shots to bring him back. It's a tie game. Then you have Damian Lee doing Luka kind of things here where you're like, leans. That's a dumb shot. He shouldn't be hitting that shot. And he just made he kept himself out of China for like another 3 years with that shot, I feel like. So
for a second to get it. No, like if you're joining us on the pod, definitely check out the YouTube
Oh,
video
and this
to
is
see
from a
those
site that I
clips.
found on Twitter called bucketlist.fans.
Yes.
They're
Time out.
new and it's crazy. All of it's free. They're just like, I don't know how they're doing it, but just search any player and you can find any basket they've made, any highlight from any game this
So
year
what you're
so
saying
far.
is
So,
for a limited time only, Box Out Boys will have highlights on our show.
dude, we should reach out to these guys. These guys are good.
Say, hey, help us out. No, that was pretty cool, man. I definitely like seeing plays from the actual games. We always talk about.
I got a
stuff
couple more for later, but yeah,
Or saving them for later. But yeah, so that was that was definitely a big win, for sure on the radar. Obviously, the embarrassing Game 7 performance from Phoenix losing to Dallas. Joey, we were podding during that, but did you catch the highlights or anything on that? Any thoughts on that game in particular?
I went to sleep assuming that game was done and over with.
Yeah.
And it was just going to be everybody was going to be talking about, oh, Phoenix is never going to live. I mean, if they got blown out in that game, they would have never lived down.
Yeah,
the
that's
Game
it.
7, and then this, like,
Right.
echo, like, the two most recent games in memory against this team is complete blowouts, one in a closeout game, and then this, like, that could have been season altering for them in, like, game 1 of the season. That could have been huge. I mean, I was shocked in the morning when I saw that stat line, but it doesn't make me quite waver my faith in Dallas. I don't know why. This Luka still kind of like, you have him, like you feel like you always have a chance, kind of.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so Joey, what was your big statement of the week 1?
I didn't pick a game or a team. I kind of went with the concept. I wrote down the rise of the underdogs. I'll just run through a handful of them. So looking at at the over-unders, the lowest win projected total for the Spurs, they're currently at 3-1. Chris, how are they doing tonight against Minnesota?
They're getting blown out. They're going to lose. Don't worry about it.
So they'll be 3-2.
Shoot. Nope. It's 80-75. Well, it's fine.
Okay.
It's
They
fine.
could be 4-1, 3-2. The Blazers are 4-0 atop the Western Conference. Pretty impressive there. And then just overall, so the bottom half, there's 15 teams, so 8 and 7 kind of here. Bottom half of the Western Conference in terms of over-under has 15 wins, tied with the top half of the West at 15 wins. And the Eastern Conference, the bottom half has 13 wins, and the top half has 12. So all teams right now firing relatively equal. There are a few stinkers, Orlando being one of them, Indiana kind of as well, but a lot of surprises. Utah obviously at 3-1. Talked about the Spurs. Charlotte 2-1, Wizards 3-1. Just a lot of teams getting through some good stuff here, and a few of them have been wins against pretty good teams. So we'll get into this probably some in our is it fake, is it real thing. But in week 1, surprising to watch the underdogs kind of turn the tables.
How about Orlando showing that size isn't everything, being 0-4 to start the season?
So you don't love their big men?
I still love their big men, but they're not. It's not producing W's.
Yeah,
Not get the dubs, but hey, that's what they want because they want to get the biggest of big men coming up.
That's right.
the 7-4 alien, as everybody's calling him.
so many big men.
So many big men on that team.
That would. Oh man, if they get him, Bol Bol, it's so
Bobo,
stupid.
Wembanyama, Jesus. Wendell Carter at the 3. That would be wild.
It would be wild.
Yeah, so my statement wins. I went with wins. I got 2. I had Golden State's win over the Suns. Oh no, was it?
No,
the Suns beat Golden State. Yeah,
that was yesterday. Yeah,
yeah, last night the Suns kind of kicking their ass, and kind of it seemed like they really were wanting that one. Like, hey, look, we know you're the champs, and kind of made a statement there. And then the Grizzlies beating the Nets earlier in this week, where that was a pretty interesting one where Kyrie and Durant went off for 37 apiece, and then Bane and Ja went off for 38 apiece, like one up them essentially. But you could tell like they wanted the smoke of the Nets, and
that was a fun game.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
Ben Simmons got fouled out.
I wish you it's told us that. I wanted to pull up the highlight. There's Ja in that game. He would hit a shot and he would just be coming down this court like just nodding his head.
Yep.
He was in it, man.
He's got that
great.
sass to him. I was going to point out, like after the win, he's doing
so
that gritty dance just right in front of Durant as Durant's walking off the court. I'm like, damn, all right, man.
That was awesome. And then Desmond Bane doing.
Yeah.
I think that was his only big game this year so far.
Yeah, and
I love Desmond Bane though.
He had 6 points at half, and then goes off and finishes the game with 38.
That's insane.
So
This is how he was in the playoffs against the
That's
Timberwolves.
insane.
It's so frustrating.
dirty.
8 of 11 from 3. This guy, Desmond Bain, man.
Yeah, those were definitely my my big statement wins.
And then
So
Phoenix.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was
No,
gonna
go
say
ahead.
the Phoenix Golden State. Phoenix beat Golden State 3 out of the 4 times last season too. And that game that you mentioned from yesterday kind of got me thinking. If Phoenix just didn't completely embarrass themselves into oblivion in Game 7 last year, they probably would have beaten Golden State. It got me thinking they would have beaten them in the playoffs because the way they match up.
yeah, they're a tough matchup.
Kind of made sense. So
Well, I think in the broadcast they were saying like this should have been last year's Western Conference Finals, and it just feels like it might be. It was weird. It's very early on, obviously, but the way Phoenix has been playing, we can get into that in real and fake too. Is like, hey, is this going to be the a conference finals preview here early in the season? In Game 4 of the season. So I would love to see those two teams go at it in a 7-game series, whether it's conference finals or earlier. So just give me that. All right, well, we'll keep moving on. Get over to question number 2. Who had the most disappointing start? Let's start with you, Joey. What do you think, man? Who's come out of the gate sluggish and really disappointing everybody?
Chris, I'm sorry to do this to you, but I think you kind of
Fine.
alluded to it. It's got to be Minnesota. Oh, all right.
sorry, no, what? Yeah, no, keep going. You're fine.
Okay. Minnesota at 2-2.
I will just mute. I'm sorry. Just kidding.
Was that on purpose? Or
I can't tell yet. One more time.
Just keep going. What?
Just
Yeah,
keep-
just keep going. What?
Losses to Utah and San Antonio. I'm not going to say they must not be named. Losses to Utah and San Antonio. San Antonio won specifically. Anthony Edwards 3 of 15, and then afterwards we kind of alluded to this. We got our little pre-show.
Maybe we should
Rudy-
advertise that. We keep alluding to the
We should
pre-show. Nobody
advertise
sees
it.
it but
Yeah,
us.
we were talking about it earlier.
I think Rudy kind of called out the defense and just the intensity. Karl Anthony Towns called out Anthony Edwards conditioning and eating Popeyes.
Popeyes. I love Popeyes.
And Anthony Edwards, I think, mentioned that he plays better when he's in smaller lineups. So
Yeah, he did.
all in
He
one,
looked great in that small lineup.
all in one post game here. You had just pure chaos from all of them, and that's pretty dysfunctional for a team that was supposed to have a much better start than this.
Dysfunctional is a strong word. Okay, but
I'm kind of with Joey on this. I mean,
It's-
yeah,
the record 2-2
It's
is
your
not-
big three. You've got
Yeah.
your big three all sitting down and some calling out other players and some saying, hey, I play better in a lineup that doesn't have 2 tall men in it. And they traded everything from one of those tall
Yeah.
men. So
right.
it's disappointing start, I think. I don't foresee this, being a long-winded, hopefully not a long-winded, painful experience. But losses to Utah and San Antonio in the first week cannot feel good.
Yeah, no, and we'll get Chris, the Minnesota man, feedback in a second. But I actually am a little concerned about this, Joey. I know it's early, so it's maybe not. You maybe shouldn't be concerned and kind of maybe taking your path there of being a little more forgiving on this. But I don't know. It's super early. I mean, Gobert already kind of calling out the defense. You're a new guy on a new team. Maybe just kind of say, hey, we'll figure it out. This you got a lot of time left, and then kind of the weird thing there going on with Ant and Cat is kind of, I don't know, it just raises some red flags, and I'm a little nervous, and I think I might have gone a little too hard on Minnesota preseason. All right, but Chris,
it was a back-to-back, right, Chris?
Yeah.
And I've read something about Anthony Edwards and back-to-backs is usually not so hot. I don't know that. I didn't look
Yeah, it
into
was. They're at OKC and then they were home for San Antonio, so it kind of an excuse for that slow start where they're down 35 points, I think, at one point in that game. But they only lost by 9, and I don't know. I'm not too concerned. Honestly, I have to play the advocate on this, but
yeah,
I kind of like that Rudy Gobert called out the defense. Like, he's known for having top 5 defenses as teams, and he's not producing that right now. There's everything on StatMuse saying that the Timberwolves are like 16th in defense, and it was like, it's been 4 games. Like, what are we doing here?
yeah,
Like,
what are we doing?
I don't know, man. But so I kind of like they did that. The Carl thing with the Popeyes to Edwards. If you have a gripe with that, talk to him about it in the locker room. You don't need to talk about that to the press.
Yeah.
These guys at this point know what they're doing when they speak something out into the public for everyone else to talk about. So I don't really understand that that point there. I'm not concerned. I know I wanted them to go 7-0 to start, but obviously Utah is the most exciting team in the league right now. San Antonio was a tough matchup because Jakob Poeltl is arguably, I'm going to say Stacey King here, top 5 center in the league.
Yeah, I was like, where are we going here?
We could.
Jakob Poeltl is arguably.
He looks so good, dude. It was so frustrating to see Jakob in there because it really neutralized Gobert's strings, and he was stronger than Towns. So Jakob Poeltl doing things. And the Spurs are just going to be. Devin Vessel's doing things. Kendall Johnson. They're just a well-coached, cohesive team, and they always have and always will be with Popovich at the helm. They have Phoenix coming. I'll get this into a later topic, but they have Phoenix on Tuesday on TNT, and that's a game I'm excited to watch, and we'll see how they compete. Minnesota, but up until then, and it was supposed to be a bumpy start. We wouldn't expect it to be flying all cylinders right away, so we'll just see how it works out.
All right. Anybody else disappointing start for you, Chris?
Yeah, I had one that everybody, man. I think like the last 2 or 3 years, everyone's always excited about Sacramento, and then like, oh, Sacramento's gonna get 40 wins. Oh, over 20. I think even I fell into that. I don't know if I went over on that. I can't remember. And this team has been bad, man. Like they've lost single digits every time by 7 to Portland, 2 to Clippers, 5 to the Warriors. But the last 2 games, they hit threes in the closing buzzer to make it look like it was a closer game than it actually was. They were never in these games. It's fake. And they look so bad against Golden State, which fine. Bad against Clippers and Blazers being for real. So maybe I'm being a little too hard on them, but I kind of was hoping they'd be a little more competitive than this. And Sacramento, I don't even care to talk about them after this for at least another few weeks. So that's why I want to bring them up right now.
Looking for.
I'll just bring them up, get them off the list. All right. Well, my team that was our most disappointing start, and kind of similar to the Kings. Well, I guess a little bit in the sense of they played good teams. Was the Lakers, who are 0-3. Going back to the pre-show, the conversation Joey pointed out, alluding back. Joey
let us know if you want to hear it.
Yeah, let us know if you want to hear the pre-show stuff. He goes, is it disappointing that they're, because of the matchups they played? I think they had a loss to the Golden State, Clippers, and Portland as well. So that's what I have written down for them. Did they play those same 3 teams? That seems weird. Anyways,
I think they did. Yeah,
the Lakers.
Wait, was it really those? Holy crap! It was those same 3.
Yeah, the same 3, different order. But holy, it was really. When you see that, I was like, did I write down the right teams? So I guess you know what I mean. Hey, the same solid team. So what can you say about the Lakers? But I feel like they should have got, be more competitive too. They were getting blown out.
The Portland game was alarming.
Yeah, and then with all the stuff going on with Russ, and people, the crowd audibly gasping when he takes shots, and him kind of taking some really bad shots at the end of the games and stuff. Not looking good in Lakers town, and when we get into the look ahead, their schedule doesn't get any easier. So, we'll get to that later. But Lakers, that was my kind of disappointing start.
One saving grace on the Lakers is so they're shooting 21% right now from 3-point range. I'm a big regression to the mean kind of guy. 29th, I'm pretty sure, is shooting 30%. Like, this team should not be this bad at shooting 3. This is absurdly bad at threes. And I don't expect it to continue. I expect them to bounce back. Their defense looks legit. Lonnie Walker, the 4th, looks like a starter. And, if they can figure out their 5th starter, Austin Reeves is starting tonight. Maybe he's the answer.
Maybe he's the answer. Yeah, here we
see
go.
What happens. So there's a trade waiting to happen. This team isn't finished.
Yeah,
I will say I did call them to not make the playoffs when we did our over/under.
That's looking good.
Pessimistic Joey looking good.
Pessimistic Joey looking good. All right, we can move on. Our third question of tonight. Pretty interesting one here. Going back to kind of game 1 of the season, and then they've been balling out. But are Tatum and Brown the best duo in the league?
Oh, Chris? Sorry. Are we going to talk about Tatum and Brown, the guys who lost 120-102 to the Chicago Bulls to DeRozan and Ayo? Is that?
Yes, we are.
We're talking about Tatum and Brown being the best duo in the league. Okay. Sorry, is DeMar still not going to be an
Caliente
All-Star
Chris.
this year?
Yes, he's still going to be an All-Star. I'm
still
back
gonna-
on that
okay.
train. I'm back on that train. All right,
Um,
Chris, what do you think, man? Are they the best duo? Give me who's the best duo?
So I looked at other duos. I am still high on Anthony Davis and LeBron James as a duo.
Yeah, as a duo, as a team.
But really, like, I mean, when I was watching the Lakers, Kawhi only played 21 minutes. He didn't come in until like 8 minutes into the second quarter in his first game. But man, when he plays, he's good.
Yeah.
And him and Paul George together.
Oh, I didn't think about
That's
that.
got to be the best duo. The problem
Wow.
is the number of minutes that they'll play together. I think that's the biggest question. So, but in terms of efficiency and like over a length of a season, maybe Tatum Brown is it. You know, because of Smart and Horford and all the other pieces as well.
Because of all the other guys, they're the best duo.
The duo, yeah. So,
No, they definitely look sharp in game one. Yeah, they took the L to the Bulls, which was a strange game, But as far as they've been playing, and Tatum's been balling out himself personally. I know Brown's been a little more up and down, but they've been pretty solid. Joey, what do you think, man? Duo wise.
So I kind of thought,
Oh, here we yes, I love it.
what are the things that are important in a basketball player and basketball team, right?
Yes.
It's not just pure points. It's not just scoring, right? It's consistency on the court together, right? If you're talking about a duo, it's about kind of yin yang, kind of give and take, right? And it's about a balance of offense and defense. So with that, I was digging through NBA stats, and they allow you to look at every two-person duo. So like every grouping of two players on a team. It's kind of a wild stat, but what I came up with was Devin Booker and Miles Bridges.
Oh, wow.
Michael, yeah.
Or Mikal, sorry.
Or Mikal.
Yes,
Mikal
Bridges. Sorry. So the first 4 games, obviously, this is very small sample size here, but a highest plus minus across those 4 games, 17.3. The third highest minutes per game for them on the court together at the same time.
So they're playing.
They have the highest points per player. Now, this is mostly from Devin Booker, but they have 180 total points between both of them. So technically it comes down like 90, kind of a goofy way to look at it, but they do. And then just the whole, it kind of goes back to the plus minus, but the defense and offensive kind of punch from both of them. And, you think about like Brown and Tatum, you're not getting as much of that defense. But with Bridges, you're getting a lot more of that defensive intensity. It was interesting the kind of way to look at it. And Brown and Tatum weren't even in the top 25 when you kind of look through like the top plus minus and, minutes per game and stuff like that.
Wow.
So are they probably a top 10 duo? Like just, eye test and actual understanding of things? Yes, probably. But I don't know. I looked at it this way and I thought that kind of actually made sense. And I kind of talked myself into thinking that Booker and Bridges might be a really, really good duo in the league.
No, that's really good. I did think of Booker, and I was kind of like, all right, well, who's the second on his team? And I said, Chris Paul. All right, no. And then I thought of Mikal Bridges. I'm like, all right, is it a threesome? Those 3 would be awesome. But then I did kind of just dismiss Bridges as far as like that, like you said, yin and yang, kind of that defensive and offensive player. That's a really smart way to look at it.
I was dismissing him too because his offensive output has been lackluster. He has 1 3 made so far in 5 attempts in 4 games. Like he's supposed to be a 3 and D guy. He's mostly just a D guy right now. But like to your point, Joey, he plays 82 minutes or 82 games a year, or he plays all the games that they have in a season. He's notorious for that at this point. He's averaging 37 minutes a game right now. So to go the yin to the yang of the Paul George Kawhi, hey, that's a very probably more talented duo, but you're going to get half a fraction of the minutes.
That's a good point.
You're going to get out of Michael and Booker. So, yeah, maybe Bridges and Booker over the course of an 82-game season is the most efficient, best duo in the NBA.
That's a good way to put it, though. It might be the most efficient duo, but
effective duo.
Effective duo, but best. That's the conversation: is how do you define best? Is it that's based on offense?
Everyone talks about what happens in a 7-game series, and it's well, maybe Paul George, but you wouldn't know if they're going to be healthy. Like Michael and Booker.
And that's you could do Giannis and Middleton. If Middleton stays healthy, is that a top duo?
Yeah.
It probably should be, but Middleton isn't going to give you 80 games.
I think you guys are gonna hate who I picked.
What, Kuzma and Beal?
Yes, Kuzma and Beal. No, I did the opposite of Joey. Joey did he did the smart. I'm gonna look at this analytically. I just went to the leading scorers and it was like, all right, let's find some teammates.
Oh no. You
And
went-
I went with Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
Oh, you went even worse. I thought you were gonna go Luka and Christian Wood. You went
No,
way
no.
worse,
The best duo.
dude.
So I said, so the three that popped up for me was AD and LeBron, but Harden and Embiid. I thought that was interesting, but KD and Kyrie. I was like, you know what? I can't say there's a better two players potential.
Sorry, we're talking about
uh,
KD and Kyrie.
Yes, I know what I'm
Okay.
saying. As
All
I'm
right,
saying,
that's
this
fine.
sounds stupid. You guys make great points. You do research, and I'm just
He
like,
scored the most points.
he scored the most points, KD and Kyrie. But you know what? I still think KD's an awesome player. Of course, they're losing right now to the Bucks. But as we speak, they're getting rolled up. Oh my god! But it's I think there's some guys talk me
The
off the
middle
ledge
is
here.
the middle is Bucks, dude. They're still without
there
Chris
two-
Middleton.
Are there two guys that hate each other more in the league than these two? But they're the best duo.
Maybe Towns and Anthony Edwards. I
Oh,
don't
Oh yeah,
know.
maybe.
Yeah,
That's a good
maybe.
point. Yeah.
I picked two guys with horrible chemistry. I wanted to get traded. The other one's probably going to get traded to LA, and I'm like, yeah, that's the best duo in the league. Give me,
You know,
give me
Tice,
those
but you
two.
have a so the interesting thing with your point, you're right that they've combined for 60 points, which is insane.
Yeah.
But right now they've combined for nearly 50 out of the 83, 48 out of the 83, and they're down by 7. Right. So like points matter,
Yeah,
but so does being, a part of a team. And Kyrie does not give a shit about being a part of a team. He likes to do his dribble moves and hit his shots and get his points. The guy's not a team player, and I'm waiting to be proven otherwise. So
That's a great
that's why I
point.
don't like that.
If you
duo.
told Kyrie that he's part of the best duo, would he even? He'd be upset. He'd be like, I'm not part of any duo. Like I'm not part
oh
of a
my
team.
god,
I'm
you're
just-
right.
I'm just Kyrie.
I'm just
Like,
Kyrie out here. I do to go come in and do my job.
What do you mean?
Oh my
Duo
Who's a duo?
god.
pass, just get the rebound.
Me and myself, that's the best duo in the league.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I may have made an error here.
That might be worse than your all sports top 5 athletes.
Yes, this is
Mark Burley.
Mark Burley, yes, and who is it?
Bob
Mariano
Burnquist
Rivera.
or whoever.
No,
Bob
Mariano
Burnquist?
Rivera.
Come on. Mariano Rivera,
Oh,
Tony
no, it was
Hawk,
what's his name? What's the biker?
Matt Hoffman.
Matt Hoffman.
I
yeah.
stand by Hoffman. All right, Titus is going off the rails again. I'm sorry, everyone. I stand by it. So Katie and
Tyson, I know
Kyrie.
you're taking next week off. Maybe watch some basketball. And come
Yeah.
back with a better.
Yeah, spend your off night finding a better duo, okay? That's the only way
Well,
you
all
can
right, I'm gonna
not
come
do the
back.
pod.
I'm gonna come back with a better duo. I'm sorry. I stand by it.
It's fine. Yeah.
I'm dying on this hill.
Kyrie and Katie.
Oh, Kyrie and Katie, man. You
2022.
know what? See, you know what? Here's what it is too. You guys, this is my sickness. This is my toxic trait. I am the problem. It's me. I come into the season like I'm gonna, Brooklyn needs to prove it to me. I don't care. They go off for like 37 a pop against Memphis. I'm like, yeah, this is the best duo in the league.
Yeah.
Got me.
They
every
lost
time.
that game to Memphis.
Yeah, they lost that game.
They lost
I
it
know.
and they got one up by another duo.
by a Bane Morant duo. Who
But
we
I get
haven't
sucked
mentioned.
in and I just see it and I'm like, you know what? If these guys, if they just can get it, if they're playing and they're available,
All right,
I
let's
get
mark
sucked
this
in.
down. We should revisit this question
Yes.
around the All-Star break
Yes, let's
because
do that.
I
Get a little
think
more time.
yeah, because like Morant and Bane were on when I was looking at mine, they were in there, and I was like,
They were in my
that doesn't seem like it's going to have the legs to be like a long-term duo kind of thing. Maybe
but
like can Bane keep performing like that? I don't know, but Kyrie and Durant maybe that actually gets some steam, but we'll see.
we will see. Yeah, well, we'll definitely revisit this in the All-Star break because we'll find out then. Moving into our next question, if it is real or fake. So here's a new question,
Nice.
little segment we want to try to do here. We're gonna do real or fake. So we got some teams, and this is with starts. So there's been some hot starts, there's been some slow starts in the league that we've been talking about, and we just want to point out which of these starts are real and which of these starts are fake. So we'll start with the first team. I think we all kind of had this team on our list. Washington. They're 3-1. They got wins over the Pacers, the Bulls, and the Pistons, and their loss came against the Cavs. Joey, is Washington real or are they fake?
Absolutely fake. They did it last
Yes.
year, kind of the same thing. They came out hot and then they just kind of fizzled as it went on. I don't know. Like Kuzma's averaging 21 points a game right now. Kristaps at 17. I'm not ready to trust that like that continues for the longevity of an entire NBA season. And even the Bulls game, like Beal didn't look like the dominant guy that he used to be. And I think that's because, Kuzma's getting 21 and Kristaps is getting 17. So I just don't have faith in it yet. They haven't proven to us that can last. So I'm calling bullshit. I'm calling fake.
Yes. Chris, what do you think, man? Washington, real or fake?
Yeah, it's kind of fun that they did this last year too. I kind of forgot that they were a great team for a while, kind of like the Bulls. But they fizzled out before the Bulls did. I remember they didn't make it. It's like, yes, Levine's better than Beal. Get it? Eat it. But this
Give him
year,
that max
Kuzma's still doing Kuzma. Kuzma, I kind of buy. Kuzma, I think, is going to have a good year, mostly because I have my fantasy team as well. But I think he'll be fine. Beal, I don't know, man. Like, if he can play 60-plus games, maybe they'll keep this up a little bit. But Porzingis hasn't played more than 50 games since he tore his ACL 5 years ago. And he's 7'3". He's not going to play that many. He's not going to play 60% of the season.
No.
So, and then the rest of the team is Rui. I'm not going to name all these names. Anyways, I know I'm not high on this team. They're 3-1. That's cool. They'll still be. Were they a play-in? Were we talking about them as playing?
I think they were playing.
I still don't see them as playing.
Okay.
Even with this start.
I'm with you guys. This is fake. All right, let's go to our next.
Gibson's on this team. Let's keep going.
Let's go to the next team. The 76ers. They are also, or they are 1-3. Their loss.
They're 1-4.
Oh, 1-4 now. Oh, wow. So they lost.
They lost to Toronto by 10.
Oh, wow. Okay. So then they have losses to Boston, Bucks, the Spurs, and the Raps, and a win over the Pacers. Oh man, Chris, is this real or is this fake?
I want to talk about this Toronto-Philadelphia game real quick. Toronto, again, their 5 stars all got 15-plus points each starter. Beautiful team.
Yeah,
I love this team. Embiid, Maxey, and Harden combined for 80, 31 each by Embiid and Maxey, and they still lost. Everyone likes how Harden has looked so far. He looks fine.
Better.
Embiid's looked lethargic. He looked better in this game, but they still lost by 10 to Toronto. Philly, I am saying that this start is real in the sense that I don't think they'll be a top 4 team. Like I still think they'll be in the playoffs, but like they have some real issues. And Doc is not the guy. He proved it with LA and with the Clippers that he's not the guy to really solve this. I really think in Boston when he got that one championship, Tom Thibodeau was the defense the guy who did it. Like Doc's just been writing on that ever since. So I don't know, man.
This is real.
I'm selling the Philadelphia a little bit because I'm honestly thinking that this might continue.
Joey, is Philadelphia, is this bad start real or is this fake?
I think it's real. I think there should be legitimate concern that Embiid, as Chris said, looks lethargic. I think everybody was hyping up the fact that like him having Harden, like a full season of Harden and a healthy, skinny or in shape Harden was going to be everything that they needed. And just the way that like he has handled like the whole MVP thing last year where, he thought he should have, and he was very vocal about it. Like, I feel like he thinks he's the guy. And when he's not the guy, it maybe doesn't quite, he's not as mentally strong to kind of handle it not always being him. And this is completely speculation, but like that feels to me like maybe that's contributing some of the like not aggression that he's showing to start the season. And Chris, your point about Doc is so spot on. Like he's not the guy, and I think he's got to be on the hottest of all hot seats of all the coaches right now. Like if they don't come back up here pretty quick, like you're not gonna blame Harden and Embiid. You don't blame players, you blame coaches first. And after all their struggles in the playoffs they've had, I think that makes perfect sense.
Man, I actually agree with you guys. And I think, if they won't get that win against the Pacers, I think
He's
they're
gone.
I think we're talking about Doc being gone because you can't start to 0-4 when you're
I'm surprised
predicted
we're all
to
in
be.
agreement on this. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say I want to say fake because it's so early in the season, and I do trust Embiid. And Harden's a good enough player. I mean, I don't like him, but he's a good enough player. He's going to win. But something is off. I'm just with you guys. Something's not right. This is weird.
Well, you noticed that in that first game that we talked about last week,
Yeah.
right? Where it was like a, your turn, my turn kind of offense. And yeah, so we'll see.
All right, one more team in the East, then we'll go to some Western Conference teams. I got Miami, also 1-3, at least as far as I know. Or, well, 1-4 now for Philly, but 1-3, Miami. Losses against the Bulls, Boston, and Raps, still good teams, and then a win against the Raps, so solid team. Joey, what do you think, man? Is this sluggish start real? Is this something that's going to keep up all season?
I got okay. I'm debating between my actual feelings and contradicting my feelings from last week when I was talking about them not being as legitimate as people were kind of making them out to be. So I'm gonna say it's real. I feel like that experiment too is kind of like run its course. Like not even an experiment, but like they have like all these pieces on paper that seem like they should be working really well, but they don't always see. They just don't seem to be clicking. Like Lowry isn't as big of an impact to them, I think, as they expected him to be. Yeah. He's not providing as much of that like floor general kind of flow. It still seems like it's kind of a one-man show, and it's not just an individual. It's not a solo person every time. It's like whose night is it, right? Is it going to be Tyler Hero's night? Is it going to be Jimmy's night? Who's going to be on? And I don't know too if their depth on their bench is as good as it needs to be to kind of make a run. Then again, they were kind of loitering in the middle of the pack for a decent chunk of last season, and then they quietly just kind of stormed their way up. Everybody ignored it because Boston went on an even bigger kind of tear in the second half of this season. But I don't know. I feel like we've had this team in Miami the same way for a few seasons now. Bam doesn't seem to be like he's kind of coming along like you would have expected. Again, it's 4 games, and he was injured for a decent chunk of last season, so there's more to be seen there. But right now, you can't really look at that and be like, okay, they're just kind of need some tweaks here. There seem to be kind of like Philly, some kind of deep-rooted issues that need to be addressed, and they might be kind of hamstrung with the fact that they put a lot of eggs in Lowry's basket, and it's not necessarily panning out as they expected.
No, I like that. All solid points. Chris, what do you think, man? You kind of agree with that, or you think maybe this?
I agree with it a little bit. Like I agree in the sense that Lowry isn't the answer, and I kind of was confused why they paid so much money to someone who's 36 years old. Like Tice, you understand? Like when you get to that age, like it's tough. Like
I'm gonna be 35, but yes,
trying to be an efficient member of society. So. I know,
straight to the society, damn.
Wow.
Like Butler,
team.
Butler, Adebayo, Hero. I'm still high on those guys. I think this team will be fine. They're kind of still in the realm of what I thought, where the 1 seed was fake 1 seed last year, and this team is playing. They're a borderline playing team. Maybe maybe the 6th seed this year. So wow, I don't know if that's like really buying or selling. It's kind of where I have.
I think that feels real. But
that's real, yeah.
That's real. I
guess that's real.
Where they're riding,
yeah. Even though,
Who? Man, I'm gonna give these guys a little longer. I'm gonna say fake right now, but I want to say it's a hesitant fake because I do agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. But I think some of those points, the Lowry stuff is concerning for sure. Bam, I feel like at some point he's gonna get right and he's gonna have a run and look like himself, and he's really gonna help Jimmy out, and he should be okay. And I'm kind of banking on that. Well, not banking on it, but I'm going to wait and let that play out a little longer before I say that this is a real start and that they're like a playing potential team or like a bottom, half of the playoff bracket. Because, I mean, if we're talking Philly and Miami are dropping out of that top 4, man, that changes the Eastern Conference picture for sure. So right now, I'm going to give this team just a little bit longer leash than I gave, Philly and say that this is fake, somewhat fake. But there's definitely some concerns there, so something to watch out. All right, let's move into the Western Conference. Let's start with Utah here, 3-1. Chris, is this real? Is this you've been watching Utah games? You're the sicko that watches these teams.
I've been enjoying. Okay, I'm also I kind of like their jerseys. I might be the only person in the league that likes
The neon things or something. What they got?
this neon yellow. That's like all it says is Jazz, and everything else is kind of blank.
What is it?
Kind of like the minimalist style from afar. When you watch it on TV, it's like I don't mind this.
It's a Minnesota guy talking here.
This team is 3-1. Kelly Olynyk is shooting 3.5 threes a game. He's made 2.8 made threes a game. So he's shooting at a 78% clip. Insane. I have a clip that I want to share about the Utah Jazz that
Yes.
says
highlights.
why I think this is the fakest team, and they're having fun. Hey, good job, guys! Like
Good
keep
job.
doing this.
Good job by you.
This play from the Pelicans. I think I was watching this game, and I was just like, I can't believe this team's gonna win because they're doing stuff like this. So watch this. So here we go. That's Conley to Clarkson. Clarkson wants to pass it. Oh wait, he goes. Oh, Markkanen saves it. Oh, gives it back to Clarkson. Oh shoot.
It froze up.
Oh no.
It's no
here we
longer
go.
free. NBA got you.
Yeah. Oh, and then he just
Here,
hoists
I'm
the
just gonna
three.
say, okay, so Clarkson
Yeah.
almost throws it away. There's Markkanen, gives it back to Clarkson. Clarkson like, I'm just gonna shoot it. Ties the game with 30 seconds left. Utah ends up winning this game in overtime, 116 to 114. But my point is, they're doing shit like that to win the game. This isn't gonna continue. Kelly Olynyk keeps shooting 78% from three. They're having a fun run. I kind of look at them and like, I think they beat a team like Minnesota because Minnesota looks at the season as an 82 game season. Utah's looking at it like, hey, I want to win for this because I have like 40 games before I'm gonna get benched or be told that I have a bad back or something.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna play my hardest right now. And I'm just sell everything on Utah. No one's really buying Utah, but no, I'm
Joey.
off.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I like that Chris said, yeah, no, most Midwest thing ever. Yeah, no.
Yeah. No.
It's fun to see Markkanen playing the way he is. On Saturday night when the Bulls were getting stomped out by the Cavs, the Bulls beat reporter Casey Johnson tweeted just meanwhile ... and it was the clip of Laurie dunking over Rudy.
Ooh.
So that was a good feel good moment for us as Bulls fans. So that was fun. But yeah, this can't last. Like Chris said, even if the team is playing well, there's going to come a point in time where somebody steps into that locker room and says, "Hey, listen, you're going to need some you're going to need some left knee management out of Zach LaVine, and we're gonna this can't last. Like
That's not what we're doing this season.
You're not going to win anything, so there's no point in like you got to be in the race to have that first pick. It has to happen.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys. This one's as fake as it gets. Utah, I think they're just catching people by surprise. I think a lot of people thought like, all right, Utah's on the schedule. These guys are tanking, easy win, and then they've been playing feisty. And like Chris, what you're saying, they're playing with no pressure and they're having fun. So they're stacking wins.
Yep.
All right, we'll move through the last couple teams here quickly. Let's go with the Pelicans at 3-1. Wins over the Nets, Hornets, Mavs, and a loss against the Jazz, the hot Jazz. So,
they lost to the Jazz.
They lost to the Jazz. So the Jazz have been beating everybody, man.
Oh, that was the game that was just
Jazz running everybody up.
Yeah. So what do you think about this? Is this, I mean, they're coming out looking like they're for real. I mean, they beat the Mavs last night without Ingram and without Zion. I mean, Joey, what do you think here, man? Is this for real, or is everybody right on the Pelicans?
This is real. Wow.
The Pavicans.
Oh.
Joey, when the whiskey hits.
Oh boy, I'm not even drinking these. Drinking Coors Light.
Skip
That's
through
the
it.
problem.
Let's just go.
Right, that's the
he's
problem.
nursing these cores.
No, it's real. The Pelicans are legitimate. I think we kind of forget that they, gave the Suns all they could handle last year.
Mm-hmm.
Without Zion, Zion's looked like he hasn't missed a step. Looks like the Zion of old, or the Zion of the handful of games he's played. CJ McCollum has been great. I think that is the big change for them. Ingram is just kind of under the radar, being really, really good. But with Zion there, he's going to get all the pub. And I think that's a solid big three for them. And I'm in. That is a real team, and they're going to be a fun team to watch in the playoffs.
for sure. Chris,
Wedgie, Bulls wedgie.
Bulls wedgie. Oh man, wedgie alert.
Zach LaVine wedgie.
Are we going the wedgie? All right. Yeah, Pelicans are for real. I had them as the 4th seed in the West. I was high on them in the season. They're kind of like my version of the Cavs this year, even though there's a lot of people high on the Pelicans this year. Grand Theft Alvarado has been fantastic. Watching him, that's his. It's the best nickname in the league, right?
Nickname.
Herb Jones was also out, who's going to be on the all defensive team this year. So they had Herb Jones out, Ingram and Zion. So the fact that they were able to pull this out, I remember we talked about this game yesterday, right? We're like, we wanted to watch Zion. Like, this is stupid. Luka's gonna roast them. And I'm watching Luka roast them for a while, and then all of a sudden the Pelicans are still in it.
Yeah,
they pull it out. It's like, wait, what's going on here? Trey Murphy, 8 for 8, 4 for 4 from 3 with 22 points in that game.
Wild.
This team's got some guys. They got a lot of guys, and they'll be good this year.
Yeah, they definitely look for real. I would agree with that. All right, our last team that I got, at least, and I'll ask you guys if you guys have any other teams, but I got Portland at 4-0. One of the only 2 remaining undefeated teams, them and the Bucks, who just beat the Nets tonight and went to 3-0. But Portland 4-0 wins over the Kings, Suns, Lakers, and Nugs. No losses. Chris, is this team for real? What do you think, man?
I'm selling. Sorry, I'm not.
You're buying it.
Fake.
It's real.
No,
It's fake.
They're my version of the Bulls from last year. Man,
this is good.
They're going to be good until January. Portland's going to be good until like January. People are going to be like,
Until it matters.
Dame, man. Dame is the man. And the thing with Damian Lillard, he is one of the most fun. I forgot how fun he is to watch. Like, he's so good. That Lakers game when he hit that step, it's dirty. And
it's dirty.
He's a fun guy. And but he's still, in my opinion, very overrated because he has fun moments like that. But his team never really seems to deliver when it matters the most. Hey, we're 4 games into the season. All of a sudden, Damian Lillard's, an MVP candidate. So, no, I'm selling what this 4-0 team is giving me right now.
Yep. All right, you think it's fake, Chris? Or Jesus, here we go. Joey, this we're all off. Joey, man, what do you think, man? You were saying fake here, but are you?
Dame is listed as the best odds winner on Basketball Reference for MVP right now. He has the best odds based on all of their algorithms, which is, 4 games in. But I'm with Chris. The comparison of them to last year's Bulls, I think, is really good. I think this is also a little bit of Dame being like, last year there was all the talk about he quitting on the team and, are they going to trade him? Is he going to stick around? Are they going to blow it all up? And, I think this is kind of his comeback story. I just don't know. I think teams like Chris said are going to figure them out. I feel like too, they're also one injury away from like this all crumbling down, whether that's the Dame, Anthony Simons or Nurkic or something like that. Like it's not a super deep team. So I'm saying it's fake with a little bit of sprinkle of legitimacy to it.
Twist the real. I like that.
Twist the real.
I'm gonna say real. And I'm going to say real in the sense of, I don't think they're going to be, a top seed all season. But I think a lot of people had these guys, on the outside of the playoffs looking in or maybe a play-in team. And I think this might be a solid team. I'm kind of with you guys. I think that this is, I'm going to say real with a twist of fake. So I'll say that.
Nice.
Where I think it's, there maybe is that sort of Bulls potential there of being a really solid team. And then, kind of, petering out in the playoffs or towards the end of the season. I could see that happening. But I really do think that this team is going to be better than people expected. So I think real in that sense. I think they're going to be a playoff contender and be in the mix all season long. So real in that sense. All right, you got one last question or one question from the listener here, and then we'll move on to our final question. If you can give one NBA player the power to walk on water, like the Jesus bug, who would it be and why?
Oh, yeah, like that bug. Yeah, I get that.
I've been thinking about this since it was posted.
Yes.
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose.
People who can walk on water don't tear their ACLs.
Oh, man, come on.
Oh,
man.
wow.
Just bringing it down.
Right? I immediately thought like, hey, if that guy could have walked on water, that never would have happened.
He could have healed his ACL.
Yeah. Even better. Oh, man. Perfect.
Even better. I've been thinking about this question too as soon as I saw it posted. I went with Kevin Durant because he's so long and like a spider. I just went like Like, I want to see him just kind of across the water like a bug. That's what I thought of.
I thought of Patrick Williams because I thought it would give him confidence that like, hey, I can walk on water, I can do anything. And then maybe he'll actually,
Be aggressive.
Okay,
yeah.
this is amazing. These are 3 great answers. You had one like emotional answer, one that was just somebody who wanted to see a bug, and the other one is just
maybe if he had confidence, he'd take a shot.
Maybe if he was the only person who could walk on water, he might take a shot in the
he'd be at the edge of the lake, like, I don't know, guys. I might go in.
It's like, you already did it. You already walked on the water.
Zach should do it.
Yeah, he'd be looking at Zach. Are you sure I can do it?
Yeah, DeMar, you sure?
I'm not going to sink? Yeah. Billy, what do you think, man?
Oh my God.
Billy, what do you
Billy,
think?
what do you think, man? Oh, all right. Well, let's look ahead,
That's
guys.
painful.
Great question, Baskets. As always, Baskets be awesome with the juicy questions.
Laughy face there.
Yeah,
Great
laughy
for
faces.
Baskets.
Yeah, get it in there. Happy to help. All right. Looking ahead, Chris, who are you looking ahead to the next weekend? Next week games. What are you thinking about?
Next week game. Next week. I got all right. So last week I kind of over compensated or over promised.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
So I got 5 games this week instead. So I got Bulls Sixers Saturday because we were just talking about how like we're selling the Sixers. Bulls beat Sixers. We really sell the Sixers, right?
And we buy
That's
the
a
Bulls.
good game. And we buy Bulls. Then we got Bulls Nets on Tuesday. Another big game. Sixers Nets are 2 teams that are like, are they good? Or are they not? The Bulls are kind of that team this year that like kind of test you. Are you good or not? Because the Bulls are this medium team, the middle of the road team, no matter what.
Yeah, they can get
you beat them or
anything. I
not.
like that.
So I'm excited for those 2 games. Timberwolves just beat the Spurs, so it's tied at 1-1 in the series. We got the grudge match on Sunday at San Antonio this time, so watching that. Suns on Tuesday, first actual, playoff opponent or playoff contending guy for Timberwolves on TNT, 9 p.m. Guys should watch.
All right, yeah.
I'm going to watch the Utah Jazz. They're currently up on Houston, so this team's going to be 4-1. And I'm just going to keep watching. I'm just going to keep monitoring this team and watching their games. They've been a lot of fun to watch. So I kind of like the uniforms. And then the Lakers, they got Nuggets coming up twice.
Yes,
Timberwolves on Friday, which Russell Westbrook's supposed to come off the bench in that game. He's out tonight, but he's supposed to come off the bench on Friday. Then Pelicans and then Jazz. So
It's juicy.
they got this,
0-7 in potential, 0-8.
Their pivotal point, their must-win games are now. They're the first team being tested. It's being tested right now. So got to keep an eye on the Lakers, at least for right now.
Yeah, Lakers were on my list. And go ahead, Joy, but I'm assuming the Bulls are on your list too, right?
Yeah, mine was actually Brooklyn on Tuesday night for the Bulls. It's the Bulls' first national TV game. I'm having really bad.
So we got Bulls. They're on TNT at 6:30, and then the Timberwolves. So guys, we should just live pod this. What are we doing?
No, it's Tyson's birthday week.
Hold on. It's the first though. I can do the first.
He's unavailable. He's unavailable.
I'm unavailable. Sorry. Busy.
No, I'm having flashbacks to last year of them just getting absolutely embarrassed on national TV on TNT a lot of times. And
yeah, what was the record? Do you remember the record last year when they were on? Was it like 0-11?
Yeah, it was bad, and 2 of them were. Well, one of them was the blowout loss to the Warriors when Levine went down with the knee, and then Lonzo went out too. So they lost by like 40 or something. So I'm looking forward to that. I think, like Chris, I think you said the perfect thing. Like, they don't look like they're going to have maybe as much of that like kind of embarrassment this year. Then again, it might happen, but and they've got 2 days rest, so they've got the back-to-back with the Spurs and 76ers on Friday and Saturday, so they have no excuse to be rested for that game. So I'm excited to watch 2 middle of the pack teams in the Eastern Conference go at it.
Nice. No, I've definitely the Bulls are on my radar. I didn't actually like go specific games this time as far as looking ahead. I was just kind of thinking of myself, like kind of what teams I was going to watch, what they did. And so that's why the Lakers were on my radar as far as are they going to pick it up at all? Are they going to be 0-7, 0-8? The Bulls, I think they have 5 winnable games this week. I don't know if they're going to win them all, but I think they're all winnable. So I'm, if they go 4-1 this week, I might start buying into the Bulls. If they go, 2-3, I'm going to be like, all right, I think, I was right preseason. So, but the other team I'm really be watching this week is Miami. I kind of said that they were a fake slow start with the 1-3 start, and they got a couple of tough matchups here: Blazers, Warriors, Kings, Warriors, Kings. So, the back-to-back.
You said Warriors, Kings, Warriors.
Yeah, they play Warriors, Kings, then Warriors, Kings. It's so weird.
Oh, that is weird.
It's weird, but
Cool.
so the Kings obviously are beatable. Blazers and Warriors are gonna be tough, but the back-to-back like that with both those teams is always kind of weird. It seems like
I love this. I love the scheduling setup. It's great.
So I just want to see what Miami does. What the Bulls do and what LA does this week. So we'll be back talking about it next week. So anything else from you guys? We got any other things before we get out of here?
I have the clip of DeMar's long too. I already closed it. We'll talk about it. There'll be plenty more I can pull up later. this
DeMar's
year,
long
so.
too.
22-foot jumpers, man. Any jumper that's more than 20 feet that's not a three is, because a 3-pointer is 23 and 9 inches. I looked it up to make sure. And he's hitting 22s all the time.
You can't lose with 22s. That's
Rolling
what's
on
up.
Dubs.
That's according to Ludacris. Well, I think I did have a
Can't argue that.
Yeah, a Stacey King quote, but I can't remember what it was.
He did bring up Vooch being
A top 5 center again?
in the same realm as Jokic and Embiid again tonight. After he started the game, with like 7 points, he's like, people just, all talk about Jokic and Embiid. They just forget that Vooch is a really good big man. It's like, yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. He kept saying it's a simple game, and on his birthday game where he went off, I forget how much he had, but it was like feed the big man. It's a simple game. It's a simple game.
He had 23 rebounds. He had 17 points, something. It was all the rebounds.
He was beasted. Feed the big man. It's a simple game. Well, this is a simple podcast, and we're 3 simple folks. So. We're just out here having fun, having a couple beers and some laughs with the boys, and that is it for us tonight. I won't be here next week, but join the boys next week as they celebrate my birthday for me. We'll be talking more NBA
Can't
basketball.
believe you don't want to celebrate your 35th birthday with us. That's just...
I love you guys, but I'm gonna spend it here with my wife. Some personal time. We'll talk more NBA basketball. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch at the Box Out Boys. Slide in those DMs. Join us live Wednesdays at 8:30. Send us an email to theboxoutboys@gmail.com. And as always, like, subscribe, and review wherever you listen to this at now. We very much appreciate that. So for Joey, Chris, and Adam, I'm Titus. Until next time, Box Out.